This is the plaintiff, Nada Chuang Chualai. She says the defendant's dog attacked her dog Starbucks, and the defendant refuses to pay because he says it was her dog who was the aggressor. Well, guess what? She has video evidence how things went down that day. She's suing for $1,608 in vet bills and lost work and expects to get awarded that today. This is the defendant, Oscar Nye. He says the plaintiff's dog snapped at his dog Cujo and latched onto his throat. Once they sprayed water on them to separate them, they ran into the house because the plaintiff's dog was charging at them. The woman is making things up about the incident. He can't wait to see this so-called video evidence, even if it exists. And besides, everyone in the neighborhood knows the plaintiff's dog is aggressive. He's accused of a doggone dilemma.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant's dog attacked her dog Starbucks and she wants her vet bills. But the defendant says the plaintiff's dog was the aggressor. It's the case of you got a lot of nerve.
Nata Chuan Chuala?
Yes.
How'd that go? All right, you're suing Oscar
Nye
for $1,608 in vet bills and loss of work because, according to you, his dog attacked your dog. Tell me what happened.
So I asked my roommate to walk my dog that day in July 7. So she walked around the block, nothing happened with the leash. And when we enter the complex, his dog is come out of the unit unleashed.
Okay.
And then his dog started to bite my dog in the face.
Okay, so you two live in the same apartment
Complex.
Yes.
Okay. So you weren't there and you don't know what happened personally, but this is what your roommate told you?
Yes.
All right, that his dog got out and his dog came to your dog and attacked your dog.
Yes.
What happened to your dog?
The face got ripped off and the jaw.
The face, I'm sure, did not get ripped off. So there was a bite to the face?
Bite to the face.
Okay.
Sorry if my language.
Did he have to get stitches?
She.
Okay, did she have to get stitches?
They didn't do any stitches, but
Okay.
there's
What
a
kind
whole
of dog is it?
Pit Bull and Labrador mix.
So the pit bull's a victim, or is your
Pit
dog?
bull is a victim.
What kind of dog is your dog?
My dog is a husky mix, Your Honor.
Okay, doesn't happen very often.
That's rare, very rare.
Doesn't happen very often. But anyway, all right. So do you have the vet bills?
Yes.
When you come home, do you talk to the defendant?
I talked to him right after the situation happened, the accident happened.
Okay.
On the phone.
Okay.
And he's saying that my dog leash is weak. I think my
Roommate?
my roommate trying to pull like this, and then they're trying to separate the dog, and then grab this accident. And
She
then
did.
It's
Okay.
come out.
All right. Is your roommate here?
No, but I think she's write a notify statement to you.
Okay. Do you have that?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have that?
Absolutely.
Do you know him?
He just moved in. He just moved in July.
Okay. Your dog's name is Starbucks?
Yes.
Okay, then the dog that had no leash was about 1 or 2 inches taller, came up to Starbucks, was putting its head on top of Starbucks. Then I heard growling, and both dogs were showing teeth and biting each other. Another man in this area had a hose and started to spray the dogs. Okay. What's your understanding of what happened? Were you there?
Yes, I was.
Okay, what happened?
So I was in the house at the time. I was unpacking my stuff, and then
Were you moving in?
yes, I was.
Okay.
And so my friend comes up to me, and she goes, "Hey, you need to come downstairs. Your dog just ran out the door." And so I go downstairs.
Had the dog confrontation already happened?
No, it has not.
Okay.
I have a video of everything, so
Oh, okay.
You can see that later.
All right, go ahead.
And so I run outside. The dogs are kind of just out there sniffing each other. And so at the time, there were, it was July 4th weekend, so there were a bunch of people like hanging out. And the person who had the dog with her at the time told me that she was the sitter, not the roommate, because I haven't seen her since that day. And so
She was a short-term roommate,
Yes.
right? You know, she
Okay,
was
so
on that air, what is it called?
Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Well,
where
I'm not
pe-
really sure about those details, so I'm just gonna say that I never saw her since.
Right.
And-
Which would
and so-
make sense.
I run out just in time. I'm like, all right, my dog, I gotta pull my dog away. And right as I was gonna do that, they start snarling each other, and Starbucks grabs my dog, Cujo, on the neck. And at this point, Starbuck, after pulling a little bit, the leash just snaps, and the sitter or the roommate just sort of just backs off, like she didn't want to get involved. And a gentleman who was outside the gate happened to see what was going on. So he grabs a hose and he proceeds to spray both dogs down, and eventually the other dog lets go, and I grab my dog and I just pull him back into the house.
Okay.
And so eventually I get a call like around like 10, and it's her, and she's telling me how she's gonna sue me, and like she's gonna have my dog put down, and she's gonna put me down.
She's gonna put you down?
She's gonna put me down, and I don't know. I didn't really
Are you
understand.
kidding, or did she say, I'm gonna
No,
put
she
you down?
literally said, I will put you and your dog down. And, you know, there was a lot of yelling, and I didn't really understand what she was saying. So I was like, well, fine, have it your way.
We have your former roommate's taped testimony. Is that it? Give me a moment. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Mara. I'm just reporting that on July 7th, I was staying at Nikki's house, and she called and asked me to take Starbucks for a walk. So I took him for a walk around the block. No problems with his leash. He was pleasant. I took my key and I opened up the secured area, came in to come back into the house, and then I saw on the right side of me, the first house, their garage was open, and their dog came out and kind of was, their body was over top of Starbucks, and I was gently trying to like tug Starbucks to come over to me, and the chain broke off, and the other dog was growling and started biting Starbucks. One of the neighbors over across the way, he took a hose out and sprayed the hose and calmed them down. Owen was his name.
Is there an Owen, or is she talking about you?
And
Owen
his
was
friend.
the person.
Then this other guy, out of the blue, comes over. He brought over a leash for Nikki, and I don't know how that all ended up, how that was. But anyway, those are the facts that I saw.
Okay. All right, let me ask you a question. What is she talking about? Somebody brought over, who's Owen, first of all?
Owen was the gentleman who helped us out with the hose.
All right, and what is she talking about that somebody brought a leash to your house?
Yeah, Oscar actually dropped this off in front of my door.
He did?
Yeah. He said on the phone, like, I'm gonna drop this off. Just make sure that you put this on your dog.
You bought her dog a muzzle?
Well, that wasn't my muzzle, actually. Owen
And I wanted to
came
give it
to
back.
me with that and says, like, that dog is dangerous and it needs to be on a
Do you have
muzzle.
an affidavit from Owen?
I do not.
So,
Because I didn't know that this was going to happen.
well, you didn't know what? You knew you were being sued, and you constantly talk about how vicious her dog is. Why wouldn't you bring proof of the stuff that you're saying? I don't understand. All right, in any event, let me just ask you a question. When you get home, do you take your dog to the vet?
Right away.
Okay, can I please have the vet bills? You said that you have a video of the actual attack taking place?
I do, Your Honor.
I have to.
You both have it? Mm-hmm. And you both brought it?
Yeah.
So you both think it helps you? I can't wait to see it. Okay, how do you have it? In your telephone?
It's on my phone.
And how do you have it? In your telephone?
Yes.
Both of you hold up your phones. I picked that one. All right. This has a bigger screen.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, before I play this, you spoke to him that night, and what did he say?
Okay, let me first start. When I got home, I opened the door and the blood go all the way from the front door to the crate where she put my dog. So I called him. I said, hey, I think she bleed a lot and I have to take her to the emergency room right now. And is that any way that if you can give me like $200 And he said, no, I'm not gonna pay a dime for that. And I said, okay, I'm gonna place a lawsuit against you then. And then he said, okay, well, before you do that, your English is kind of broken. So do you want to go improve your English first before you do that? Ooh. And that made me fly.
It made you fly.
Yes.
Did you say that?
Start to.
Did you say
Well,
that?
I told her that I had trouble understanding what she was saying, and because.
Did you tell her she should improve her English before she goes to court?
Well, when I said it, I meant like I couldn't hear what she was saying over the phone, but then she took it that way, and then I just kind of.
Did you say that you need
Yes,
to
I
improve
did.
your? Okay, that's not. You're not worried about whether I'm going to understand her. You're worried about hurling the insult at her.
So if the defendant's dog was off-leash, plaintiff's dog was on a leash, does it matter which dog attacked first?
Yes, it's the one that was off the leash that is guilty.
Period.
Period.
Is that true, that it doesn't matter which dog bit first?
Right, because the owner wasn't in control of their dog.
So it's an issue of controlling the dog, that both of them could have avoided it if both dogs were on a leash.
Absolutely.
Sounds good to me. Going inside the courtroom.
May I ask where you're from?
Thailand.
May I ask where you're from?
California,
Yeah, I know, but like, what's the heritage?
Chinese.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I didn't trying to like threat him or anything, but
Okay, well, you're both angry is what's going on, and
Yes.
both of you think it's the other dog's fault, and we're going to talk about that in a second, but first I want to see the video. Just press it.
Yeah, just press it.
Okay. There's your dog coming out. Her dog goes to see your dog. Your dog is putting its head over the dog. It's such a weird thing to do. And now is when
territory.
there's a lot of activity, is when people are when all
it's
hell breaks
territory.
loose. Yeah, the roommate's really not helping. There's a bunch of other citizens trying to. Where are you in this one? Are you in this?
I was in the blue. I put down the box at the beginning.
They're both wagging their tails, and everything's fine until it's not. You put down the box. By the time you put down the box, is the biting already happening or the growling?
The activity starts when I approach them, like right as I approach them.
All right. So here's the problem that you have. It is not a question of which dog is the, quote, aggressor or which dog nipped first. They're not humans. That's what you do when humans have a fight. When dogs have a fight, you ask, what did the owner do that became a problem? One of the things you say is, well, that was a weak leash. The weak leash wouldn't matter if your dog hadn't gotten out, and her dog, even if, which I don't really see her dog, I see your dog going right up to her dog and putting its head on her, like to show her who's boss. I guess I don't know what dog, I can't speak dog, okay? But, and then I see her dog get angry, and even if the dog nips first, I don't care. The dog is in her own space on a leash with a walker when your dog gets out. That's the end of the discussion, all right? So, as for the $478 in vet bills, I am ordering you to pay that. What's this $1,000 for 20 hours of lost work at $50 an hour? What's that about?
I
What do
told
you do
him,
for a living?
financial
I asked.
advice.
So how did you lose 20 hours of work?
I have to take Starbucks to the vet, and also next morning until like 3 o'clock, I came home that night. And next morning, I cannot go to work.
Okay, can I
And
see the $130 follow-up vet bill, or you handed that up too?
And the dog picture.
And what proof do you have, by the way, that you lost $50 an hour? Do you have any evidence from your employer or something like that?
I have my bank statement.
Yes, that would be sufficient proof, but I'm not going to award you loss of work. And I understand that you're angry, and you have a right to be angry. You have a right to be angry because he has the hubris to have his dog run out, so he's at fault, and then he not only drops a muzzle off at your front door, but he tells you should learn English before you sue him. You have a right to be angry. I'm ordering him to pay you the $478 plus the $130, which is $608, plus, of course, your court costs that you had to file in order to be able to get to court. That's my verdict. Pay the lady.
And here's the defendant out in the hallway. You're on the losing end of this case. How do you think you look?
I just can't believe it. Like, I thought, her dog bit my dog, and then, her dog had a history of aggression. Like, I thought I had it for sure.
Yeah, well, you have to have the dog on a leash.
Yeah, I
And it
didn't
wasn't.
realize that.
I mean, you lose it right there. Are you going to keep the dog on a leash for sure? And now you realize that's the law, right?
For sure,
All right.
for sure.
All right, this way. All right, so step on in here. You didn't get everything you sued for. What's your feeling?
Well, at least the judge is really fair. At least I have all the vet bill and everything. But all my time, I spend for my baby. It's okay.
Yeah, Starbucks, your baby.
Yes,
What did you mean when you told him, I'm going to put him down? You said to the guy.
because I'm really angry with the way he
Well, what does put him down mean?
put his life like in mystery.
You think you did?
Kind of, yes.
You're happy about that?
Very.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, the leash law is absolute, that you have a duty to have your dog on a leash in public in most cities, and if you don't, it doesn't matter which dog attacked first because you could have avoided it by keeping the dogs apart. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.